Hey guys, and welcome back to episode 37 of TerraFirmaPunk. So we're here on Grimcore's TFPunk'd server, and I thought it was about time we went and did some mining for resources. Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm trying too hard now. I'm sorry. No, I did actually need to go get a bunch of resources. There's a bunch of projects I want to work on over the next few episodes. And I realized that I'm out of a lot of my basic metals. So I'm on like an extended mining trip. But I thought I'd take a stop and mention I've got this castle in the background here. One of my viewers, Obsidian, actually pointed out that you can get packed ice from these floating castles, and we can actually use that with our thermoelectric generators to get an extra 2 RF per tick out of them. So, not right now, because I am not equipped for it, but eventually I think that's what we'll do. Just as kind of like a fun project if we ever need to upgrade our power network. But yeah, I just kind of like the way the water looks out here. Oh, we got a whale in the background. I also kind of wanted to show where we are on maps. So this mining trip has been an absolute nightmare. Let's go back down first. I kind of knew, yeah, here's Cog Hollow in the middle. I went all the way up because I knew we had granite. Silver is one of the things I need really, really badly. I went all the way up, and this sort of island in the northwest of this landmass here is granite. So I thought, great, I'll dig down. I'll just dig a few tunnels under the water. We'll be bound to find silver eventually. Turns out that the water cuts straight down through the top layer of rocks. So that was a bit of a disaster. So I was like, well, I'm just going to head west until we find land, expecting it to be pretty bad. Kept going west. And then I saw that the granite biome ended, because you probably can't see it on camera, but there's like a slight color shift where it turned into a different type of rock. I had no idea what it was. Went south, and we hit this island here, which was granite, and then the northwest is actually chert. There's chert really close to our base. So I'm pretty happy about that. I want to use that as a building material. Anyway, dug down through there, went mining for a while, got very, very little. We got a few bits of poor native silver. It was not a very good vein that I found. Picked up some rich tin while we were there. That's literally all I could get. That was from the top layer of that granite. So that was a bit of a bust. But then if I... forgetting my controls. If we head south, there's actually another, so that island's behind us. There's another island just here, and I dug down and I found some more silver and some cryolite, which we're going to need when we need to start making aluminum. So I'm quite happy to have found some of this closer to home than having to go all the way to those, need our boat back. Having to go all the way down to like where those horses were. That was the only other place I've seen cryolite. But yeah, I just wanted to let you know what we're up to. I'm going to carry on doing a whole bunch of mining, and then I'm going to head back to the base, and we're going to start on some of the other projects we got planned for today. So I'll see you guys very soon. Now that is much more like it. I might have overdone the cryolite slightly. I'm willing to admit that. But it was there. It actually connected to the vein of silver, which is what we were actually looking for. So we got some pretty good stuff there. Yeah, sorry, just wanted to cut it and show you our haul, because I'm going to go home and process this and get ready for the rest of the episode. Okay, we made it back, and do you notice anything? Do you notice anything about the base? It isn't blue anymore! Oh, I'm pretty happy about this. Grim actually solved the problem for us. He got really sick of me complaining all the time, I think. He came over and we kind of narrowed it down, and he figured out I had like an Enderman trophy around here somewhere. It turns out that what was causing all the rendering issues, that stinking trophy. So I've got it in a chest now. That's never going to be put out in the world ever again. I have no idea why that was causing the problem. Makes no sense. All the other trophies are just fine. But the plan for today's episode is we're going to make a heart farm. I've been promising one for ages. We had a few requests in the comments for them as well. And And we've just had an incident with a member of the server dying in a rather unfortunate way. So I thought this is something I could do for everyone else as well. We should get leather from it too, which should be pretty useful. And if we ever start to run low on hearts, we'll be able to get more of them. But before we do that, I want to get a couple of things going, because this is going to take some time. I hope these are industrious. Yep. I just want to make sure. We're going to try and breed our Ender Princess. So stats on this thing are pretty terrifying. I should say that this requires end flowers at the moment, right? We have actually changed our server settings. They can take any flower, and that is because Wolf basically told us he was going to. He said that the way to get a dragon egg at the moment is to complete every quest in the quest book. And that sounded kind of horrifying. But he said the next update, it's going to be changed to flowers. But that could be a while away yet. So we've done it ahead of time. And we're going to crossbreed it with this industrious strain we've got here. So let's do, up here, one of these. So this has much, much better stats, and it doesn't have this ends effect. This is going to hurt us quite a bit, I think. These also only have one fertility, terrible production stats. These are much, much better. Short lifespan, 4 bees every time. They have that beatific effect. So instead of hurting us, they actually give us regeneration. Ideally, I want all of these stats on this princess. But this might take a while, and we might actually get really, really unlucky and completely lose the bee. So cross your fingers, guys. I'm just going to put this right here for now. Ender Princess, industrious. Oh, let it crossbreed. Oh, it doesn't. Oh, it actually does hurt a fair bit. If it's in range of flowers, it's working away. We'll come back to that once. Ah! Wow, the thing does sting. Once it's like finished breeding, we'll check what the stats are on those. Wow, I just noticed that my frames have gone through the floor. I wonder why that is. But I've also left all these trees kind of going for a while. We've got our trusty spectacles on here so we can see which leaves are crossbred. And honestly, I think it's most of them. So I think we're just going to go to town and get as many different saplings as possible and see if we've got any crossbreeds. Let's work through these. This is like silver birch. This was what? A red spruce. Okay. Let's work on those. You can tell how long they've been working away. I guess it helps having lots of bees. We've got a couple on this jungle tree too. I finally remembered that we needed to crossbreed that with something different. Ah! Now we're in range of that other stupid bee. Curses! Okay, it's that one. What else we got? Tell you what, I'm going to go through this off camera, I think, so it's going to take me a while, and I will cut back in once I've got them all, and we'll have a look at them together. I don't know if I mentioned, but I've got this thing going now. I ground up all that iron from before, and I've started processing it, so like I got a bunch of the iron grit coming in here. Ooh, a bit bright there. Another hopper, more charcoal, more iron, and it's just going to keep feeding it through. And these preheaters are just speeding this process up by actually quite a bit, I think. And the power situation seems to be fine. Even just having those thermoelectric generators down there is actually keeping up with these. And I had the ore crusher running down here, made a bunch more silver. You can just see it in that drawer, set of drawers there. I've got a bunch of iron processing in here. I think it's... Oh no, we still got a ways to go. I'm probably going to need to put more coal coke in there. And everything should be, as intended, piping its way through here. We're probably not going to see it. Oh yeah, there we go. There's something. Perfect timing. Straight the way through and pops into one of these drawers here. This is like an overflow chest just because if these fill up, I don't want metal ingots to be overflowing. But I digress. I think all of this stuff is done. I've basically chopped down all the trees, got as many kind of different saplings as I could. we, like I had to make more grafters, basically. There's just too many leaves. I had a bunch of junk leaves left over that saplings left over, rather, that I just had to throw away. But we have, acacia. That's all stuff we had before. That's new, mundane larch, so I can get that planted. We can see what that looks like. I'm not going to do that all this episode. Ooh, silver lime. I think that's new as well. Looks a bit like a jungle, but it's like a different color. It's hard to tell with all these like junk saplings. I'm going to try and get all these random ones planted around the base just to add a bit of variety. Anything else? Anything at all? I'm not... Oh, yeah, there we go. Teak. Teak, that's a cool looking one, I think. Let's see what teak wood looks like. Yeah, that might actually be kind of cool. That might be a cool color. We'll have to grow that and see what the wood looks like. But most importantly, let's have a look at our bee here. I'm not getting hurt when I'm around it, so I assume this means it's finished. Mysterious comb. Oh, that's not good. Okay. Well, neither of them is an ender princess. Let's have a look. Industrious ender. Their stats completely reversed. Well, not completely, but I mean, if I could get that as a primary with a 4 offspring and the regeneration, that would actually be pretty good. Industrious and ender. Do we take a chance? Do we take a chance? Well, I guess we don't really have much choice, do we? We're going to have to put these back in and see how they get on. Oh, I'm so nervous about this. I do not want to lose that bee. But I've got like a hopper on me. I just need to grab a few more blocks and we're going to head over back to that dungeon, which is over there. And we're going to spend the rest of the episode building this heart farm. So I'll see you guys down there in just a sec. That is some pretty weird looking snow. Just for the benefit of the other guys on the server, because I don't know if everyone knows where the string farm is. If I open up my map, Cog Hollow's here, and literally just to the west of it, there's like this roguelike dungeon. I'm going to get down before the snow goes everywhere, which is where we are now. And if you go down, these staircases are always really ridiculously long because TFC is so deep in terms of the rock. Keep going and keep going. I'm sorry for getting dizzy, guys. I should have had some motion sickness tablets. Keeps going and going and going. It's like the Duracell of stairways. Right, okay. Here we go. You make it to the bottom. And these torches will probably go out at some point, but head towards this staircase here. And this is always lit up because there's glowstone in the roof. Hang a right, and the string farm is literally just here. So you just come in, have a seat. Or just chill out next to the seat. You have to be in these front blocks here, otherwise you're not in range of the spawner. But spiders just spawn constantly, suffocate, and the string collects in that chest, and you can just loom away if you want to. Or, instead of coming here before, so like there's that staircase down the end there. Instead of running straight to the string farm, if you hang a left, this is where the Minotaur spawner is going to be. Now, I've started digging this out. The usual 4 spaces on each side, so it's a 9x9 space. You need to have 2 blocks above it, so airspace here and airspace above, because these mobs are almost exactly 2 blocks tall. I don't know if it's like slightly less or something. It's definitely not anymore. They're basically the size of standard mobs like skeletons and zombies. And they actually behave a lot like the zombie pigmen do. So I've been testing around with this. They need a 16 block drop to kill them. They will actually push each other up ladders. I should probably put that torch back down or else we're going to get completely mobbed. There we go. And that's pretty much what we're going to be doing. It's going to be a fairly simple design. I'm going to be using water, just so I don't have to be digging water channels and stuff. But I am almost positive you could create a bucketless version of this fairly easily enough that I think when I make a tutorial video of this, I will show a bucket list design. The reason I say fairly easily is because, whoa, oh, that made me actually jump. I've got my mob sounds down ever since I worked on that ghast farm, and I keep, well, kind of forgetting to turn the sounds back up, but it stops a lot of the annoying background noises you get. But yeah, these are always so deep underground, like you saw that staircase we just went down, that even if the water in the area is relatively far, put you back up here, it should be like pretty easy to just dig a water channel and get it to where you want to go. So I will show how to do that in the tutorials. The reason I'm using the red steel bucket instead of the usual thing with the liquid drainers is because, well, apparently we're not really supposed to be able to use the liquid drainer. So from now on, I'm going to be trying to make these mob farm designs either bucketless or just saying, you know, you need to have red steel to be able to make them. But like I say, this one I think you can actually make pretty early on if you need to. It might actually be worth doing that for hearts. You know, in the early game, there's always that struggle of, you know, trying to survive. Your gear's not that great. You need to, there we go. You kind of need the extra hearts early rather than later. We're really not dying that often anymore. But I'm going to dig this out, and I will maybe talk about a couple of the details when it's done, and we'll see how effective it is. So see you in a bit, guys. Okay, moment of truth. I think we're just about done here. In fact, let me just pick this up so I can explain. Obviously, mobs are going to drop down. You want to get them, I think it's 4 or 5 blocks below the spawner as quickly as possible so they're not stopping the next batch from spawning. But we've got the problem in these dungeons of there being a much more dangerous level right beneath us, and I've had to cut into it a little bit for this channel. I didn't have any problems while I was doing it that was actually empty. But just to avoid unnecessary complications, I didn't want to take this down too far, so this is about as far as I dared. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4... possibly 5 blocks below the spawner. I think it'll be good enough. I tucked the water underneath these blocks here because we're using fresh water, or basically it doesn't matter whether it's fresh or salt water. We're using TFC water sources, and those will apparently freeze even underground when the weather's cold. I learned that when I was making the red cap spawner, so I want to make sure there's a solid block over the top of them. They will push the mobs this way. Obviously, I could have made this a lot further before it had to drop down the water source continue, but I kind of figured the further back I put this, the more vertical space there is underneath the spawner, so we'll get more, you know, less interference from the mobs which have already spawned. They'll get pushed into this channel all the way along, down, and around into this ladder. That goes up and then drops them 16 blocks into like a killing block, which in our case is a hopper. So I'm going to get out of here. We're going to fire this up and we're going to try it. Obviously, I haven't tried this out yet. I haven't tested this design. I'm just kind of doing it from memory. Let's get rid of these torches. And that one. Oh no, don't hit me. Larry Herd. I think these names are new on these things. I like them. Let's break all this. I don't care if we lose a few blocks. Oh, there's a heart there and some... Is that brass? Oh, we'll get brass out of these too. That's cool. How do I get over here is the question. I should have put carpenter's blocks on my bar. There we go. I also should have put a water source there. Okay. There. At least he'll get pushed out of our way now. Leap of faith. Break you, and you can sort of see what's happening. The water... What? What's happening there? Why aren't you... We're gonna need to rescue this. Okay. Let's try it this way, because I think this will be a little bit less dangerous, just slightly. Has this turned to ice? It has. Oh, no. Maybe that was a fluke. Oh, I really hope it was. I'm not sure what else we can do. I mean, it'll obviously be fine in the summer because it'll be hot enough. I was kind of hoping that this would stop the water from freezing because I don't want these mob farms to be like seasonal, you know, seasonally dependent. But that might just be a fact of life if we're having to use the TFC water blocks. But let's get up here. Break a couple of... Oh, shoot. You can tell I'm getting tired. A bit lower. Dang it. Okay, this is probably going to take some jumping back and forth. I'm going to do this off camera, and I'll just meet you guys at the top there, because I need to try and get up that ladder, and it might take a while. 1 second. Okay, we made it up. I'm just going to try and break this stupid thing. There we go. So there should be no light in here now. Seal this off again, just so we get the maximum spawn rate, so get no light leaking through. Oop. Ugh. Break you, and you. And then I've kind of broken this just so we can see. In the back there's like a ladder. Not getting a huge number of them at the moment, but as they get towards the bottom of the ladder there, they push each other up it. Let's see if I can... Yep, there we go. There's a few of them now pushing up. They should get to the top and get pushed off the edge and drop down, just like with the zombie pig farm. Yep, there we go. So it works pretty well. Okay, yeah, we've got 4 raw meat already. We've already got 1... Oh, yeah, we've got 2 quarters of a heart, so it's going pretty well. We've got some raw hide. It's not always large. Sometimes it's, like, medium. But still, like, it's free leather, right? So I might actually get some barrels in here. Just so you can do, like, leather working while you're waiting. I think that might be pretty useful. Let's seal that off. Don't know if you saw one got dropped down there, but as more and more build up, they should just push all of themselves to the top. And because they're low enough and far enough away from that spawner, they shouldn't be affecting the spawn rate of that spawner. But, you know, this is my first attempt at building one of these. I will be catching up on mob farm designs. Hello. Almost tempted to leave that open. That's great. I'm going to be catching up on mob farm designs, and like I normally do, I build them in survival first, and then I kind of tweak the designs and try and show an easier way of making them based on what I've learned whilst doing that in survival. So I will be making a tutorial video for this in the near future, and I'll do it step by step so you can follow a little bit better. But yeah, I think that's it for this episode. I think my base has been unloaded, so I don't think those bees will have been running. But we'll start next episode, and we'll check on those ender bees and see whether we've still got an ender strain or whether we've got really unlucky and just got purebred industrial again. I'm going to be pretty upset if that's happened. But anyway, thanks very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.